As an educator for the last 13 years and also as an executive working in various roles in New York City, I have spent a lot of time helping people with their resumes and helping them with interviewing. I wouldn't say that I'm quote unquote an expert so much as I am just a really focused person who has done a lot of practice and helps a lot of people be ready for their interview to be prepared for their next step. And recently I was asked to comment on an article about that question that we all hate. What is your biggest weakness? And I wrote a whole blog post about it, and I did a little more, but I thought it might make sense to make a video about it. This question is not going away. There are a whole bunch of questions that have just been out there forever, and we all hate them, and this is one of them. What is your biggest weakness? Imagine yourself on an interview with the job that you know is perfect for you. How do you answer that question? How do you manage that question in such a way that it's not going to leave the interviewer going like, or otherwise impacting you in a negative way? So, some of my advice when asked, what is your biggest weakness? You don't want to say, oh, I work too hard, or, oh, I'm a control freak. I mean, saying I work too hard is overdone, and it is annoying, and we definitely will be rolling our eyes when we hear that one. You want to try and make yourself stand out, but in a good way. And a really good way, in my opinion, for you to do that is to tell a story. Use a human alog. So we talk a lot about brag-alogs and making yourself look awesome for an interviewer, but what about a human alog where you tell a story about what you really are weak in and how you accommodate it or how you work to overcome it? I think that is just the way better way to handle that type of interview question, and it'll make you stand out in a very positive way where you could tell a story. And really, it's so important to think about building your stories, building your pitches, understanding how you can present yourself in such a way in an interview where, if it's appropriate, you can make the interviewer laugh. You don't want to be inappropriate. Comedy can go either way. You can kind of go too far at comedy, so you want to be careful with it. But if you've got a naturally enjoyable story that you could tell, that talks about something that you learned the hard way or the right way, it would be a great way to answer that question about how you deal with your biggest weakness and what your biggest weakness is. So happy hunting. I look forward to helping you take your next step. The nextstep1234.com.